Now, 7 pi over 12 is not one of the ones that goes right off the top of your head. And the reason why it's in this section is it's not one that's going to make a reference angle of 30, 45, or 60. Okay? So real quick, 180 over 12 is 90 over 6 is 45 over 3 is 15. So pi over 12 is 15. 7 times that is negative 105. Okay? Negative 105. Now, let's see where that is. We start here, we go 90, and then we go another 15 degrees. There's a couple ways to do this one. Make it positive, but what I'm more interested in is if this is 15 degrees past 90 here, what is this reference angle going to be? 75. No. 75. 75 plus 15 is 90? Okay. So yeah, we have a reference angle of 75 degrees. Now we're being asked to find the sine, cosine, and tangent. In quadrant 3, is the sine positive or negative?
What? Oh, it's sine. It's negative.
Negative. This is the one with negative x, negative y. So the sine's going to be negative. What about the cosine?
No, negative.
Cosine will be negative. Sam thinks so. How about the rest of you?
Yeah.
I agree. Tangent positive.
And the tangent is positive because it's sine over cosine.
Are we supposed to find these without a calculator?
Yes, you are. Haha. Okay, so now the sine's going to be negative, but other than being negative, it's going to be the same as the sine of 75 degrees. Is 75 the sum of two other angles you know? You should know without a calculator.
30 and 45.
30 and 45. Sam, that's all you distract me. Okay? Amy, Nabil, correct. So this is the sine of 30 degrees plus 45 degrees. And if you remember your formula, that means it's the sine of 30 degrees times the... Oh, man, I don't want to put the wrong one in there.
Sine of 30, cosine of 45.
Cosine 45
Okay.
plus sine of 45, cosine 30. Double check me and Amy. Have we remembered this sum formula correctly?
Yeah. No, wait. Yeah.
Okay. So then, without a calculator, which you'll need to know for the next test, you will know that this is 1/2. Well, you have your cheat sheet for these if you know how to read it. Times square root of 2 over 2 plus square root of 2 over 2 times root 3 over 2, which, as these all went yesterday, so I can start doing them a little faster, is square root of 2 over 4 plus square root of 6 over 4. So it's square root of 2 plus square root of 6 over 4. Now, if we were just being asked to find the sine of 75 degrees, we'd be done.
Mr. Belleville,
Yes, sir.
I do declare that there is a slight discrepancy between what I'm learning and what I'm thinking.
All right, tell me the discrepancy.
Shouldn't sine and cosine always add up to 90? Or what am I thinking?
You're thinking of a different rule. The sine and cosine of the sine and cosine of complementary angles are always equal. So if the angles that you're taking the sine of and the cosine of add up to 90, then they're the same. That's why it's sine. So, for example, I have no idea off the top of my head what the sine of 17 degrees is, but it's equal to the cosine of 73 degrees. Okay? That's the rule about the sine and cosine. Now, the sine and cosine are the same at 45 degrees also.
Yeah, but so you only need to know the sine to get the cosine. Like, see where it says sine 30?
Yeah, this is a little bit, so if you know, that's true. That's basically, this is like, remember on the chart how the,
They go backwards for 30.
they go backwards. That's because they're complementary. That's another pattern of
You
the
could do
chart.
that for the sine of 30, and then you could reverse, somehow get out of it 45. Well, 45 doesn't...
Not 45. Knowing the sine of 30, I know it's the same thing as the cosine of 60. So that doesn't really help me here.
So then why does it say cosine 45?
That's because the sum formula says that if you have the sine of one angle plus another angle, it's the sine of the first angle, cosine of the second angle, plus sine of the first angle, cosine of the second, sine of the second angle, cosine of the first angle. It's harder to say than it's right. Okay? At any rate, let's talk later about that. Okay? I think you're mixing up something else. But now, this is not my final answer here because we weren't asked to find the sine of 75. We're asked to find the sine of negative 105. So the sine of negative 105 degrees is equal to negative square root of 2 plus square root of 6 over 4 because we, what am I thinking of? Because we figured out that it's in quadrant 3, so the sine is negative. That's the sine. Now we have to do the same thing for cosine and tangent. So this is a shortcut for tangent. So Eli, if you follow me over to this one now. Now we need to find the cosine of 75 degrees, which again, as Nabil and Amy suggested, will be the cosine of 30 plus 45.
Can't take all the credit.
And for this one, the formula was, what was the formula? It's on your cheat sheet.
Cosine of 30 times cosine of 45 plus sine of 30 plus times sine of 30. 45?
Close. Isn't this the one where you switch the signs?
Pi.
So this should be minus.
Oh, right.
But very good. I'm double checking that actually because yeah, this is the one where you switch the signs, so that's minus. Okay, so again here you have to know the cosine of 30 is square root of 3 over 2. Cosine of 45 is root 2 over 2. Sine of 30 is 1/2. Sine of 45 is root 2 over 2. So this is square root of 6. It's going to work out to be square root of 6 minus square root of 2 over 4. And do we say cosine was positive or negative? Negative. So the cosine of negative 105 degrees is going to be square root of 6 minus square root of 2 over 4. There's two ways to do tangent. One is with the formula.
Where did you pull the negative 105 out of?
That was what we were given. Okay, well, actually, what we were given was negative 7 pi over 12.
Yeah, and then you 157, 180.
Yep.
All right.
They did some magical fraction work here. Yes.
Don't we have to make it the negative in front?
Yes, thank you. Actually, I forgot the most important part of rewriting it there. It's negative in the front. Thank you, Marissa. Now, there's two different ways I can find tangent. I can pull out the tangent formula, or tangent is also sine over cosine. I'm going to do it the second way, because the tangent of negative 105 is going to be negative square root of 6 minus 2 over 4, all over negative square root of 2 plus 6 over 4. Now we said that the tangent should be positive, which makes sense because a negative divided by a negative is a positive.
Wouldn't the tangent be sine over cosine, not cosine over sine?
And Amy just pointed out that I wrote it backwards. Excellent. I think Amy and Marissa will do very well on this next test. Others may as well, but they're not showing it to me right now.
I show it to you, man. I'll bear it all.
I just threw up a little in my mouth. Okay, sorry. Now, okay, a negative divided by a negative is a positive. And do you guys remember how I said if you have division of the same thing, top and bottom of a fraction, you can cross it out just like multiplication?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the square root of 2 plus the square root of 6 divided by the square root of 6 minus the square root of
But
2.
then don't you have to get